I don't know rights to the music. Know what that is? It's the Gunna. Just getting my vibes right on this lovely Thursday sunrise. It's beautiful. I caught a nice picture as well. I love the colors of the season. That was on this phone. Yeah, caught a nice little glimpse of the sunrise. Getting my vibes on. Just been moving with that vibe, that feeling. So pretty dope, huh? Enough of that. I'm Aaron Glenn, team member of Team Angie, CEO and creator, private consultant, also advocate for mental health awareness as well. I believe that success is 90% mindset. It takes a strong mind to go after a goal, to set a goal, and fail and to get back up, to keep on going. The marathon continues. The other 10% of success is about skills, of course, skills that anybody can learn if applied. Any type of thing that you want to do, that you want to know, you apply it. You apply yourself to find knowledge, to eventually learn the skills. You practice your craft. That's just that. That's how it goes. Anybody can learn anything. That's saying that you're going to be the best at that craft, but it's possible. Team Angie was created because of that mindset. I was a doubter for a long time, not knowing if I could create a successful business or even be a business owner. But that's been a dream of mine, a dream way since I could remember. But it's only 3 years old because I took so much time doubting and not getting busy taking action, not having the mindset, not knowing what it takes. But success leaves clues, nevertheless. I always followed that path that led me to where I am today. And not saying that um, I could have been there sooner, way sooner, if I wasn't afraid to fail. Now I fail and I learn and I know that it's not nothing to be afraid of. So speak from my experience. I started Team Angie back in 2022. We just had our 3rd year anniversary. Not knowing anything about business personally. Why consulting? Because I always been a resourceful person, doing that for free, helping people figuring out things, and that's what I enjoy doing. So I was like, why not turn that passion into a profit? And as I picked up digital marketing a year ago, it all ties into who I am and what I'm about. Turning passions into profit. I learned how to create digital products, and I've been learning a lot of high income earning skills. And that's something I'm proud of, being a part of a community where we do 90-day runs, where we challenge each other and build off each other, gaining momentum to success. Success online. Why online? Because the world is your platform. You don't have to worry about not having a vehicle or having a personal background, different things like that that were setbacks for me as far as having a sustainable income and just having an income period, being able to get there, having a bad background. So I had to create my own way. And I've been doing so, creating multiple streams of income and learning different things as far as high income earning skill, being responsible, having structure, figuring out different strategies, different things like that as far as business owning and an online success business. Digital marketing. Mentorship is really big, depending on who you follow, what kind of heart they have, where they are. That inspires people. And to have someone who's available is even more inspiring. So we meet twice a week within this community for mindset and tech skills. You don't have to have any type of tech skills if you want to learn how to earn income online. From launch to profit in 7 days, set up your own online business. It's a done for you business in the box. Everything. You just watch the modules. It's basically all you need is 2 hours a day, Wi-Fi and cell phone, and also to be coachable to learn these skills. Don't beat yourself up because what you don't know, you just don't know, and it takes time to learn things. I'm still learning. Learning never stops for me. I enjoy education, and that's something that I do. I pursue happiness, and in doing so, what I'm doing right now is a money making activity. You learn money making activities, and you learn how to do a few money making activities within 2 hours a day, so you can have time freedom to enjoy the rest of your time, whatever you do with your time. But as far as a business owner, what you do with your time is important. And if you don't have any money making activities, then you won't really be putting yourself in position to make money. It's totally different from working for someone regular 9 to 5, and you show up. It doesn't matter what you do while you're there, as long as you get that task done and stuff like that. But as far as having your own business online, the things that you do are money making activities. You don't get paid for getting education. You don't get paid for cleaning your desk. You don't get paid for browsing the web. What you do get paid for is creating content, putting it out, posting it. Content that's advertising your products that the world can see and be able to access. So that's a money making activity. And what I'm doing right now is exactly that, putting out content for the world to view and have a way to access my products and programs. But nevertheless, I like to put out positive vibes in the universe. I'm all about energy, vibrating high. And I read from this daily book of inspiration, this book written by Sarah Young called Enjoying Peace in His Presence, Jesus Calling. If you're new to my channel, make sure you comment, like, subscribe. It's free, and I appreciate your support. Today is October the 16th, 2025, Thursday. Look to me continually for help, comfort, and companionship, because I am always by your side. The briefest glance can connect you with me. When you look to me for help, it flows freely from my presence. This recognition of your need for me in small matters as well as large ones keep you spiritually alive. When you need comfort, I love to unfold you in my arms. I enable you not only to feel comforted, but also to be a channel through whom I comfort others. Thus, you are doubly blessed because a living channel absorbs some of whatever flows through it. Living channel absorbs some of whatever flows through it. My constant companionship is the peace through resistance, the cement of salvation blessings. No matter what losses you experience in your life, no one can take away this glorious gift. That's a real tough one to read through. No matter what losses you experience in your life, no one can take away this glorious gift, my constant companionship. This reading was inspired from the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 4 through 6. Also, the book of Psalms, chapter 105, verse 4. And last but never the least, the book of Second Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 3 through 4. This is the word for today. I know a lot about losses. That's what I kind of stumbled upon. It's kind of like skimmed through my mind really quick about a lot of losses just this year, period. I mean, this year alone. Life is like the yin yang thing, that symbol. It could mean a lot of things, but it's always, to me, when I think of it, it just makes me think about like giving energy, receiving energy, the opposites, life and death, sadness and happiness. Can't always have one forever. You're gonna go through. You're gonna go through those different streams of feelings, emotions, those energy channels. This this made me think about channels when he said that. I comfort others. Thus, you are doubly blessed because the living channel absorbs some of whatever flows through it. When you need comfort, I love to unfold you in my arms. I enable you not only to feel comforted, but also to be a channel through whom I comfort others. When you're getting close to God, you're an open channel to God's Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and God fills His children with the Holy Spirit once you're baptized. With that being said, is about like the spiritual side of life. A lot of people dabble into that with different spirits, but it's only one Holy Spirit. And that makes me think like when you do those different practices, you're an open channel for those different spirits. And as people testify their stories from their practices, not ever having comfort, not ever having peace, not ever having clarity. Um, I mean, that's that, right? With those practices. But nevertheless, still within that realm, practicing how to get close to Christ, you're still an open channel. So, with that being said, it's about the mindset because you're going to have thoughts about this working for me, this not working for me, losses, grief, pain, suffering. Those things happen in this lifetime. And because those things happen, because we experience those things, it's easy for us to find comfort, find healing, find peace, find joy, find whatever it is that we're empty of through different channels, different means, however you want to title it. But whenever you don't put Christ, the Holy Spirit in it, whenever you don't come to Christ, like you always say, Jesus calling, come to me, for I know you're going to experience these things. But we never come to Christ. We never come to God first about anything. We never question what we feel, what we think, and submit our thoughts to Christ because Christ would change our mindset, change the way that we view things, and give us His view on things and fight our battles for Him. I mean, He'll fight our battles for us, not Him. But it's so easy to go through different channels and allow these different channels to afflict us, to affect us, distract us, and to take our mind away from being focused on our dreams. The reality desire that we should focus on pursuing. It's the pursuit of happiness that comes with joy, peace, and all those other things when keeping Christ in your business and keeping Christ first. When we feel like we can do things, that's us being our own God, our own creator. We got to let life unfold and just live life and pursue things and let things be. God created us and He gave us free will. And the problem with free will is so fanatized in so many different ways to be an open channel to manipulate free will. Like with entertainment, they push out different things like time travel, clones, or whatever they may say is conspiracy theories. And it's just for entertainment purposes as well. But anyway, I said that to say this, right? Like um, with the time travel, certain things may be real, some things maybe not. But what's evident to me is energy, and energy is real. And energy is in all things in this world. You might not really realize it, but like water, air, the elements of the world, people figured out how to harness energy and use it for traveling through space and time. I believe so. And it's a bad thing because with that type of power in the wrong hands, people will go there mess things up. It's just what it is, right? Somebody to think about. And I'll give you an example. Like somebody like, okay, well, if you know with that type of knowledge, you're just gonna switch things up. Why wouldn't you? Certain people will, some people wouldn't. But once you do that, you changing free will, you changing the flow of life. And therefore you manipulating free will. And it's like people get caught up in all these type of things. They would love to change the outcome of their life and switch a different route because they don't feel like they have the power. And then they get wrapped up in these entertainment type of things and they pursue these type of things and they end up down the wrong path pursuing these harmless what seems to be harmless things. And of course people do this for exception. They want power to be accepted amongst their peers or whatever. And it's all about from feeling low, feeling um, doubtful, fearful, unhappy, whatever those things may be, when you vibrate low and you have no energy to pursue your passions, that's a time to submit yourself to Christ and say, Lord, I need you to fill me with your Holy Spirit so that I can see what to do, what's next. Because sometimes we don't know. We're not the author of our life, but we can create a reality that we desire, and we can truly live a life that we want. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen right away or that it's going to be an easy journey, but it does mean it's possible if you get started. I'm putting myself in position. Spend a little time doing those things. We have 24 hours, and you can spend at least 4 to 5 hours just really fulfilling yourself, And it's really about why I advocate for mental health awareness, because majority of the day it's about guarding your mind. Just because you're pursuing your career, pursuing happiness, working on relationships, whatever it may be, throughout the day, even just besides working on whatever that is, like I just said, you're going to have thoughts about things that contradict on who you want to be and who you are becoming. And those thoughts are challenging sometimes. Like, am I successful? Am I enough? Like, I hear a lot of stories of people in Hollywood, California, LA, and they say, wow, once you get there, it's like everybody always got something new. Everybody always got something better. And it's like, it's always a chase and nobody's really happy. And I'm like, wow, that's not really living. That's not really being free. And it's easy to fall in that trap and just be living like that year after year and time after time, because time goes by really fast, especially when we're not guarding our mind on things that really fulfills us. And little simple things like that to keep you in that loop. So yeah, it's really about guarding the mind. So I advocate for mental health because success is what you think of it. It's not about having something better than someone else. It's about you knowing what makes you happy and you're able to be happy for today. Once you achieve that, that's success. Once you have that happiness, you can have a little peace of mind. You can have a little bit of clarity, and then you can figure out which way to go, what your passions are, and pursue your passions. In the midst of creating a team, I've been having a time to figure out structure, and just been practicing my craft, practicing my passions. It's like the doors open back up for me for the things that I truly love to do, which is creating art, learning, different things that I enjoy doing, different facets of myself. It's challenging, nevertheless. It's not easy to be committed and to make sacrifices, sacrificing time, money, energy, figuring things out, learning how to be coachable, stuff like that. Challenging myself for different ideologies that I have or had that have me standing in my own way to seeing who the person I am to become, to be living the dreams that I desire. It's a transformation. Can't be the same person. Um, you know, you can't be the same person that you want to be when you're trying to experience something else. Like an example is you want to have more patience, but every time you get the opportunity to exert patience, you don't you don't choose to be patient. And over time, it's like you're never a patient person. It's the type of thing that it's a hard thing to achieve, but hard tool to utilize and equip. And you'll look at somebody else who's patient. You'll be like, wow, how is this person so patient? Because every time they get a chance to be patient, they do. They choose to do it. It's a choice. And those choices become habits. Those habits become who you are. And it becomes embedded in your DNA time and time again. So where the mind goes, the energy goes, the attention goes as well. And that attention creates who you become. So when you're mindful, I practice gratefulness because I'm mindful of these things, these temptations, these, triggers that contradicts my peace of mind. Like I said, it's a battle of the mind. It's always thoughts that's contradicting Should I take action? Is this stuff like that, little things or big things, small and big. And I just thank God that I have a little more peace, a little more patience to just take a little more time before I react, respond, and reply to people, places, and things, because not everything is going to lead you to where you want to be, but every choice has a consequence. So that's the thing to be conscious of. Are you going to sacrifice a little bit of time now for a little bit of pleasure later? Or are you going to just chase pleasure all the time now and regret not taking time to be a little more wiser later? It's either one or the two. And that's the yin and yang to me, the sign and symbol, because that's what it is about, balance at the end of the day, balancing out these things. But just getting ready for what they call it, seminar, webinar. Um, Basically, I'm finna learn some stuff in the next 20 to 30 minutes, about 20 more minutes. Um, yeah, I'm just pumping myself up. I'm finna learn some new stuff. I'm finna apply this knowledge. Heard this commercial or advertisement the other day. It was the laws of polarity, I think, or it's something. I'm just learning a lot about the laws of the universe and different things about energy and how a lot of this stuff makes sense. And at the end of the day, how it all goes and ties into spirituality. And I find that quite oddly strange. Not really strange, but it just makes me think like the people in power, they really know like what the spiritual life is about. They know the truth about who we are, where we come from. And it's really more than, I don't think it's that like complicated, but it's more than what we think. And it's like, wow, we have the power to change our lives the way that we really desire. And that's what I just been like. You put your energy and time to that really matters. Do you really get something out of it? Like, you might not be successful right, but you might. You never really know. Learning is basically the online skills for digital products because I have art and I'm seeing different stuff going on with the art with the NFTs. I be passing out my business cards from time to time whenever I can. I gave this guy one. He was like, "Oh, you the dude that do NFTs?" I was like, "Yeah." It was kind of funny though, because I was like, I haven't even been really advertising for them like that. But what I really want to do is get these coins that I created together and see how they go. I've been stalling out for some reason. I don't know why. I do know why, but I don't know, man. It's been a lot of resistance with just trying to grow. Like the devil been trying to stun my growth, and that's really trying. Like when you choose Christ, you're open channel for, like I said, the negative to come as well, the demonic, the all of the lower vibrations, and that's what I've been dealing with. Like really, really strong, um, different attacks, like business, mental, financial, emotional, uh, physical. It's just like any which way. So I'm really trying to guard my mind and just stay prayed up and stay vigilant and stay focused, despite what's going on, despite how I feel, because feelings don't make money. Like they just come and go, but they do need to be addressed and they do need to be something to be handled in a proper way to help me continue to get in the direction that I'm headed, right? Because I'm mad about a situation, that doesn't mean that I need to flip off the handles and put all of my energy and attention into that if it deserves something that I need to address, right? But I do need to get to the root. And like I was talking about the triggers, And this is a battle of the mind. So advocate for mental health awareness so that you could be equipped to know these signs and symbols and figure out your triggers and figure out how to deal with the root of the situations, these abruptions, interruptions. It's about emotional intelligence and having the skills and tools and be equipped to know how and when to use these tools. 7 days a week, different things to think about, different things to do, so that you could have a life of peace and live in more units with the universe, more in union, and things can flow naturally. That's what I'm talking about as far as energy and why I protect my mind and my peace because of the energy that I put into life, just living, period. It flows for me like that. And with the subtle distractions or whatever, this is the moments that I practice these practices, the fruits of the Holy Spirit, which is love. I practice love in those times, being patient, being understanding, being slow to, wrath. Because I used to cut up quick, impulsive, and that was me being an open channel, allowing these other spirits to take action on how I feel. Because I'm not emotional intelligent at the time to understand these things and be allowed to be used in these ways because I'm not having um, let's say, the discipline, the spiritual practice. And I had that discipline to make the right decisions, or whatever. But anyway, these are all the things that ties in together with having a successful life and being successful in life. And like I said, it's 90% mindset, and then the other 10% is you practicing your craft, practicing how to become what it is that you desire, whether that be a chef, an astronaut, firefighter, anything in the public relations industry, a nurse or a receptionist, a concierge, different type of situations, a pilot, right? Different stuff. But you're going to go to work, you're going to practice that, you're going to go to training, you're going to go to camp, you're going to go to wherever it is where you're getting that knowledge, where you have that mentor guiding you to be the best. When you're learning through your experiences, you're being basically safeguarded from your failures because you're going to have moments where it seems impossible to achieve a goal. But those times will be when you're telling your story on how you finished because you got started and you ran your marathon. But nevertheless, I want to finish my music because they be cutting me. I understand that like people like their music, whatever, right? I really need to just start creating my own music, just really get busy. Cause anything possible, like I juggle with different stuff, but it's time to pick everything up and just do a little bit at a time. But yeah, I be getting pumped up off the music. Like that's no way I uplift my energy very high. I don't soak in too much rap because I don't want to fill my mind with those messages. Like certain little things I what I'm saying, pump up a little bit, then I'm good. Then I go to something else and try to balance that out as well because I learned from my uncle a long time ago. He's like, guard your mind too. Don't be listening to a whole bunch of rap and woo woo woo. This was way back in the day before I really realized about influence, the impact of influences. And I got a video for that too. I'm gonna show you the impact of influences and impact of rap. I was just watching a little bit last night, but like I was saying, I got so much resistance as far as me trying to create and either internet connections or whatever type of um, setbacks that the enemy put on me so that I won't be able to share my messages, try to shut me up and silence me. And that's the only time I really even have battles, even physical, when I'm speaking my truth and people don't like it and they strike me. And then we fight. But what whatever, right? I don't advocate violence. I love it. I like it. But it's a time for it. It's a time for everything. And it's always a time for love before you choose to engage in that type of activity. But anyway, yeah, that's a lot of time that I'm usually dealing with that type of stuff is when I'm speaking my truth and somebody want to shut me up. They don't like what I'm saying. But I'm usually speaking at least. Unless somebody, you know, it's unless somebody anything. If I decide to harm you with my words, then I will. Then I will be ready to harm you physically after that. And it's up from there. So basically, that's what I do. Use my words to hurt and harm people if I feel the need to. But I don't like to do it. But I do it, and it's something that I'm working on. It takes a patient person to deal with those situations that you to act like that. Well, that cough like that because it's an invitation, right? You're already an open channel to flow through different experiences. Like I just read, when you spending time with Christ and keep your mind on Christ, and even when those situations come, you can give it to Christ and be like, I'm still an open channel. So you can do it and, handle the situation for your glory. And it ain't got to be nothing about me to be egotistical, dealing with people and stuff that I don't really know how to deal with, that I have you taken out of your position. And that's what it's all about, guarding your mind so you can deal with those type of things and not be taken out of your position and still have humanity, right? Still be humble enough to escape it without hurt, harm, or danger. Because usually that's what those situations are about. They're provocative to get you to act and respond in a negative way, to take yourself out of position to hurt or harm someone else and or yourself in a midst. But yeah, that stuff happens a lot all throughout the day. Sometimes you see it all across the globe, and it's something that they try to keep us to focus on because it distracts us from moving forward and moving in light and love. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna definitely play that video about the influence, the impact of influence, and with music, especially rap and rock and all of that demonic stuff that promotes violence and drugs and different things that'll lead you to an unhealthy lifestyle and an unhealthy spirit. Because this stuff is energy draining at the end of the day. But I'm not here to drain your energy or nothing like that. Just bring awareness to what's really going on in the world and how the world affects your energy in a positive and or negative way, and how important energy is to be guarded because you're going to act out positive or negative whether you have the energy or not, and that's just what it is. Throughout the day we react and respond with great energy or less in every situation, whether you're pushing yourself forward to be successful or whether you using less energy to engage in things that's not putting you closer to your dreams and goals. You have those thoughts throughout the day. Whatever you entertain the most is what grows, and whatever you dismiss dies. If you keep putting something off, it's constantly dying, and therefore it'll die to the point where it's no longer existing. If you have an urge to be something, and you can be like, "Well, I'll try it later." Like you got an urge to try a new meal or something, right? And you think later you're going to do it, but later you don't have as much energy as you did at that moment because you put it over there. And you have those moments to either grow or destroy. So you're gonna grow on this thought that's gonna build you this experience, or you're gonna destroy this one that you neglected and choose differently. But that energy it takes to choose to go one or other way is a lot. Because once you make that choice, you use that energy. Then it's all in. You got to build up that energy again and make another solid choice that's gonna really impact your life and your future. Just like when you decide to do drugs, you could be like, "No, I'm cool," or decide to go a different route. You got decisions to make, and once you get so far into keep making those decisions, because like I say, where the mind goes, the attention goes, the energy flows as well. That's who you become after a while. You had a chance to tell the truth. You have the urge to tell the truth, but you rather lie. You become a liar after a while. It is what it is, right? But unconsciously or subconsciously, some people know they're doing this and some people don't. But once you live in awareness, you'll be conscious enough to know, like, okay, I have a decision at this moment to become who I want to be, and I will practice this daily. I will choose to make certain choices, certain sacrifices. Like, I'm not going to curse today when I have the chance. I'm going to sacrifice cleaning up my language. I'm going to sacrifice cleaning up my image. Whatever, right? Whatever your dreams and goals may be, you got to guard your mind and continuously make that choice to become what you want to be, or be mad about not making the right choice and not having the energy to become who you want to be. I'm a victim of this as well. Not a victim, but a participant in this activity as well. Because I'm not a victim of anything. I choose to either be a failure or a successful person. And I'm choosing daily to not allow my feelings to dictate on how I act. And that's just what it is. The bottom line at the end of the day, how you feel, what you think about the most is going to dictate on what energy you use to pursue that reality. Um, I would love to share more with you all, but in a moment, I'm getting ready to get some higher knowledge, higher education, or attend this seminar or whatever. I say that with no disrespect because I just don't remember what kind of situation it is. I know it's like a learning type of thing, and only thing I can think of is keep saying is a seminar. That's the only thing I can really think of for some reason. But yeah, it's about to happen 9 Eastern, and check it out. But I did want to share this word with you all for today, which was about what I was just talking about, like guarding your mind and spirit. And when you're open, when you playing with spirits, when you looking for some type of spiritual truth, Jesus Christ is the truth and the answer, the light and the way. Everything else is a deception. And I say that with love. I've been misguided before, practicing all type of things, and I never was fully fulfilled. I never really saw the Holy Spirit and none of this type of stuff or none of these people. No disrespect to them at all, but I didn't feel right. I enjoyed the experiences, nevertheless, being here, being there, being around different people, but I was never really fully fulfilled. I never really felt God there. I never felt the Holy Spirit. And I felt the Holy Spirit in people before, like, godly people that was speaking truth and life. And we were in dark places, but God have his people everywhere. And we're going to make mistakes. But like I say, when you have the choice, it comes with consequences. So you got to be mindful of how you choose and what energy you put into your choices because it goes all in. Those mistakes will land you in jail. Those mistakes will land you. They're detrimental to your future, nevertheless. You might think it's a simple little choice, but it's life altering. And these choices we make dictate who we become when we have the chance to practice healthy practices and to be filled with the Holy Spirit to have discernment on if whatever we're into is a healthy practice or not. That's when we have the upper hand when you ask the Holy Spirit and you go to the Holy Spirit and not these other things because they never really fulfill you. And that's what I've been learning with on my journey, getting closer to Christ. And that's just my testimony. I've tried a lot of different things. I've been successful with a lot of different things, but like I keep saying, I was the head of all of this, and I'm not my creator. I don't know what I'm doing, and I need help. And I got to be real with myself and be authentic and know like this is what God designed us for, to be dependent on Him and not dependent on these different practices, these different sources of sources of relief, because they never really fully satisfy me, fulfill me either. And that's when I really realized like only true fulfillment and true peace could come from Jesus Christ, and that's the only spirituality that I really need to practice. And this other stuff, before I get too wrapped up in it and caught up in it and lost, I need to give it up and let it go and keep on seeking discernment so that I can let these attachments go, whether it be certain music, certain movies, certain people, certain things, whatever, right? You got to learn and figure out like what's holding me back from getting closer. And it's a personal mission. It's a conscious mission. You got to decide every day to pick up your cross and keep moving. But yeah, I'm just excited about going after my goals for today. And then a little bit later on, I'm gonna show y'all the power of influence through music. It's a pretty dope, not too long video, but we definitely gonna react to it But happy Thursday, though. Peace and blessings from Team Angie.